Travis Hunter discusses playing both ways in Jaguars training camp practices. Appearing on the Up and Adams show, Travis Hunter discussed what it's like playing offense and defense in Jaguars training camp practices. Kay Adams and the Up and Adams show were at the latest Jacksonville Jaguars practice. Joining Adams for an interview was Travis Hunter, who was asked about playing both ways during training camp, which is something he has been doing fairly regularly over the last several days of practice. The specific question from Adams was, "How hard is what you're doing out there?" Hunter's response? "It's not hard at all if I'm being honest," Hunter said. "The first off day that we had, and then I came back and did both sides, that's the only thing that got to me, but after that I've been good." Need a break? Play the USA Today daily crossword puzzle. Hunter continued, "After the first off day, I got a little tired. I didn't do what I needed to do during that off day, but I bounced back that next day. So I was good." The Jaguars scrimmage last Friday was the first time that Hunter played both offense and defense on the same day during training camp. Then during the Tuesday and Wednesday practices, Hunter switched between the two positions, and in the Jaguars' preseason opener against the Steelers, Hunter will play both sides of the ball. Helping Hunter accomplish this feat is the mental aspect, as cornerback Jordan Lewis described recently. While Liam Cohen and others have raved about his conditioning, he doesn't get tired, Cohen told ESPN's Dan Graziano. "He's been training in the altitude for years. Our strength coach texted me in June and said, 'Liam, this guy's endurance is something I've never seen before. He just doesn't really fatigue. He can run and run. And that's why he struggles to keep weight on, because of that. So for him, he's used to just doing both all the time. For us, we've got to make sure it's a process.'" Travis Hunter leaned back in his folding chair at the edge of the Jacksonville Jaguars practice field, beads of sweat still rolling down his forehead. The Florida sun wasn't kind, but the rookie cornerback turned receiver, or receiver turned cornerback, depending on who you asked, had just wrapped up another training camp day that made it crystal clear why the Jaguars drafted him in the first place. A couple of reporters gathered around him, recorders out, ready to hear from the 21-year-old phenom who had, in the span of a few weeks, managed to become the most intriguing storyline of camp. "Two-way player in the NFL," one reporter began. "It's not exactly common. How's the body holding up?" Hunter grinned, that confident but not cocky smile that had followed him since his high school days. "It's holding up," he said. "You just have to love it. You can't fake it, you know? If you don't love both sides of the ball, it's gonna eat you alive. But for me, man, I've been doing this my whole life. Feels weird not to be running routes and locking people up." That was the thing about Travis Hunter. His football story was never about choosing one side. At Jackson State and Colorado, he made highlight reels as both a shutdown corner and an explosive playmaker on offense. Now, in Jaguars training camp, head coach Liam Cohen wasn't just allowing him to do both, he was encouraging it. "You see him in one-on-ones," Cohen had told reporters earlier that week. "One rep he's locking up a veteran receiver. Next rep, he's beating one of our starting corners on a deep ball. You can't coach that versatility. You can only try to maximize it." The maximizing part wasn't easy. Training camp practices for Hunter meant twice the workload, twice the mental playbook, and twice the meetings. While most players headed to position group huddles after stretching, Hunter had a split schedule. 1 hour he was in the defensive backs room, learning how to disguise coverages and bait quarterbacks. The next, he was in the receivers room, studying route trees and how to find soft spots in zone defenses. "I'm not gonna lie," Hunter admitted, leaning forward a little. "The mental part? That's been the biggest adjustment. In college, the game was a little slower, and I could kind of feel my way through both spots. But here? These vets, these coordinators, they'll catch you slipping quick. If I'm not sharp on my reads at corner, I'm getting burned. If I'm late out of my break at receiver, that DB's breaking up the pass. There's no room for half speed." He took a sip of water and chuckled. "And then there's the running. My legs are definitely getting their money's worth." Still, the grind hadn't stopped him from flashing in practice. Fans in attendance had seen him make a toe-tapping sideline grab from Trevor Lawrence one day, then turn around and break up a deep shot from CJ Beathard the next. Even veteran teammates were buying in. Jaguars cornerback Tyson Campbell, one of the league's more respected young defenders, praised Hunter's competitiveness. "Some rookies come in and just want to survive camp," Campbell said. "Travis? He's out here trying to win every rep, no matter where he's lined up. That's rare." The big question, of course, was sustainability. Two-way players in the NFL were nearly extinct for a reason. The speed, physicality, and complexity of the league chewed through even the most talented athletes. Cohen wasn't committing to anything long-term yet, but he wasn't shutting the door either. "Right now it's camp," Cohen said. "We're experimenting. We're seeing what he can handle. But if he proves he can help us win in multiple ways, we're gonna use him." Hunter, for his part, wasn't too worried about how his role would be defined come week 1. "I'm not sitting here counting how many snaps I get on offense or defense," he said. "I just want to make plays. If that's locking up a number 1 receiver, cool. If it's catching a 60-yard bomb, also cool. I'm here to help the team win, however they need me." One of his favorite moments of camp so far had come during a red zone drill. Lined up at corner against Christian Kirk, Hunter read Lawrence's eyes and broke on an out route, nearly snagging a pick-six. 2 plays later, Cohen told him to grab a helmet stickered with the offense's green decal. On his first snap as a receiver, he caught a slant over the middle and took it into the end zone. The sideline erupted. Players on both sides were hooting and hollering, some yelling, "2-way Trav." Hunter laughed when asked about it later. "That's just football," he said. "The fun part about being me is I get to battle everybody, offense and defense. It keeps you sharp." There was also the unspoken reality that his two-way versatility could make him one of the NFL's most marketable young stars. Social media clips of his practice exploits were already racking up views. NFL fans, even those who didn't care much for the Jaguars, were curious to see if Hunter could pull off something the league hadn't really seen since Deion Sanders. Not that Hunter was interested in the hype. "Deion's a legend," he said simply. "If I can even be mentioned in the same breath, that's an honor. But I'm just getting started. I've got a lot to prove before we even talk about that." As practice ended that day, Hunter stayed behind, running routes for the backup quarterbacks and then flipping around to take defensive reps against the younger receivers. The sun was setting, painting the Jacksonville sky in streaks of orange and pink. Most of the roster was already in the locker room, but Hunter's cleats were still churning up grass.